Come on. There we go. Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this May edition of the Roadhouse Huddle. We got a lovely bunch of lines to go over with a beautiful day ahead of us. Let's get started. I see the energies in the chat. I'm at about an 8.5. It's actually 9.5. Yeah, I think I'm at about a 9.5 for the anticipation of the great day. Terrell's at a 9.5. So is Bob. Jess Forbes is at an 8.5, as well as Felipe Plus. Jim is 8.78, which is a palindrome, so you can read that either way. And let's see, we got Andrew's at a 9, Lisa at 9.23. Got great numbers. Let's get started with looking at the agenda. I didn't hear any discussion topics, so I just kind of feel like I was like, I'm just going to leave it blank and see what happens. With the DOR board, I know we have a proxy call. I believe Felipe says he has Kim's proxy. Any other proxies I need to know about? Fantastic. I will give about 30 seconds of maybe like 15, 20 seconds of silence if for anybody thinking of discussion topics at the end of the DOR board that we could discuss. Anyone at all? All right, that's fine too. Feel free to type them in chat, or if they come up naturally during conversation, and if it warrants a solid discussion, then I will throw it at the end there. So, seeing none, let's swap it over to the DOR board. Look at these beautiful numbers. I'll let Lisa take it away, starting these beautiful numbers. Hello, Lisa.
Good morning. The sun is out. It's a beautiful day. I've been waiting for this weather. And sales are looking fantastic as well. So we're totally going to take it. We came in at 150 on a forecast of 137. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm very happy to see numbers like this. Like I've been talking about, once we can get over the 14, hitting higher than like 13s and 14s on days consistently, we're going to start seeing numbers like this, and we're actually seeing them now, which is fantastic. I think the lowest we had was this past Tuesday at 15,000. Otherwise, we're seeing anywhere between 16 and up to 27, or 29 actually. Oh my goodness! On Saturday we did 29 for the opening day of the park when we had the Bloom Fest event, which is super fantastic. So that's definitely bringing us some added sales to where we can get into these numbers, like I said. So I'm going to look at my forecast going forward because I think I'm going to have to raise those. Yeah. The park's open, people are out. We're still definitely tweaking quite a few systems with the park. For anybody who works in that area knows that we have yet another set of new things happening. We have the order and pay system, which is great, but again, it's very new and there's quite a few kinks to work out. So thank you to everyone for being patient and flexible and giving feedback as we go. We will make sure that we get to a place where everything is functioning optimally. That is the goal. And then we just cruise throughout the summer and take care of all the guests coming our way. So super exciting time of year. We do have Memorial Day coming up. Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, we will be open that day. So generally we are not open on Memorial Day. And we do some staff gathering, but we're going to try to do something probably in the late summer, early fall, something like that for staff, because we do want to do something for staff and all get together and have a good time safely. So we pushed it off this year. So we will be open on Memorial Day. Because we're generally not open, it's usually, it wasn't very busy for us last year, but we'll see. We'll see what comes our way because we can promote we actually are open. So, and then Father's Day is coming up too, which I'm sure we're going to talk about a little bit. But yeah, that's the major things I have.
Super. Thank you, Lisa. It's exciting to see the number, and it's also crazy to see that dine-in sales beat roadshow sales. Probably.
Yeah.
I guess the first time that's happened. I'm pretty sure. It's the first time
dine-in's bumping. Yep. It's great.
So it's exciting. I believe Bob has a hand.
I do. I was curious, and we might not remember. Do we remember what we were kind of doing, like those early week sales pre-pandemic?
No, it's like a lifetime ago.
I know it is. I can't even think of it, but it feels like maybe it's starting to kind of catch up.
I think it's approaching. I mean, we can definitely pull up some historical information here and see. I mean, it's like heading in that direction, which is wonderful. We can keep building on that, and then we can open up capacity. We'll start seeing numbers like we were before. So exciting.
Yes. Quite exciting. All right, let's go bounce over to Lauren with Roadshow Sales.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hi.
Yeah, you totally stole my thunder. I was going to open with the fact that we had the flip of
I'm sorry.
the dine-in sales for the roadshow sales. This is definitely the first time that we've seen that flip at all.
Couldn't contain myself.
Looking at, I had the percentage right here: 51 table service, 48.84 quick service. So yeah, that's the first flip. They're still neck and neck and, dancing right around each other, which is fantastic. And we're definitely not seeing any kind of significant decline in the to-go sales, especially with the park going on. But yeah, fantastic number, 73.8 for the roadshow and to go. We had the order and pay over the weekend, and that made for a really bumping day. But also, some of those items are a little bit lower price, so that also it may be a possibility of why it kind of drove down some of the numbers. We'll see long term what that looks like. We've got a lot of really cool changes going on, and the team's really adapting and coming up with some cool ideas for how to make this more efficient and more streamlined. And so a lot of the cool stuff to come with that. And we'll definitely be making changes in like the priorities of the helper. We'll be making we've got some great ideas for a new tagging system on the bins. So yeah, so some really cool stuff we got going on, and we're gonna make this work really well. And let's see here, farm bread of the month, and then the Honduras is the coffee of the month.
Oops, sorry, I muted. Thank you very much, Lauren. Any questions for the roadshow? Awesome. I know lots of new changes. Luckily, we have great systems that we've built as a foundation, so it'll make these changes that much easier to get used to. Let's bounce it over to Felipe with dining room covers and check averages. Hello, Felipe.
Hello, Zach. Good to see everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Check averages and cover counts. Everything is moving in a relatively good direction, I would say. It was the second consecutive week that we've had over 100 covers on every lunch service, and over 100 covers on every dinner service. And in the weekend we had 210 on Friday, 237 on Saturday, which are good numbers, but still eclipsed by brunches. Turnout: 260 people came in on Saturday for brunch. 342 came in on Sunday. So the numbers keep kind of going up and up. If you see against my forecasts, everything is coming in up above my forecast. So I'm definitely going to be nudging that number up. The nice weather and the fact that we do have such a nice full patio is going to keep bringing people in along those lines. Check averages, dinner crushing it at 34.02 on a forecast of 33. I'd love to see that number there. And I think that we do have some upside on that if we can make sure that our servers are taking the opportunity to upsell when those opportunities arise. We can see a little bit more on that. I think there's some room there. Brunch came in a little under, but I'll take it with the 600 people coming in. Going forward, like I said, I'm going to bump up my forecasts a little bit, and I'm looking to see us rolling into our heady days of jamming out on all time periods.
It's starting to feel like it a little bit now and then, so it's a good reminder of where we used to be and where we know where we're going. So thank you, Felipe. It's exciting stuff. Next over. Nope. Yeah, we're good. Front of house labor cost and total percentage of the sales. Lisa, back over to you.
Hello. All right. So, one moment. Okay. Yeah. So we came in. My forecast was at 15,000. We came in at 15.4. which is okay. We definitely were busy, and we needed staff to work and to make sure that we're giving great service. So the percentage looks great with the higher sales. So we'll totally take that. In terms of hiring, some very exciting news. We have 2 new managers. Email will be coming out shortly, but we have Kim Green, who's been promoted to manager, and an external. His name is Caleb Phelps, and he's coming in today for new hire paperwork, as well as 7 other people, front of the house frontline positions, which is super, super exciting for us. We have a breakfast server, 4 hosts, couple bar backs. That might not be totally 2 bussers. Anyway, there's a bunch, and we're very, very, very excited. Everyone I've been interviewing has been fantastic and eager to come on board, and we're excited to have them. So you're going to see a lot of new faces around the Roadhouse very, very soon, like in a couple of hours. And you all will probably be helping to train them. So pre-appreciation for getting them acclimated, welcoming them on board, and making them great. So I still do have breakfast server and supervisor posted right now. So we are still hiring. And if you know any fantastic folks, because of, a couple of people have been like, hey, like somebody stopped in, or I have a friend and, they're great. We think they would be a good fit. Please let me know, because we will be continuing to hire, because we anticipate business to continue to ramp up for quite some time, and then eventually opening up our capacity whenever that happens. So this is a good time. I'm very excited. I was anxious for a long time. Still am some, but it's just nice to have lots of people on deck and lots of good people coming on board. So get ready to trade.
Woo, trading. All right. Any questions for Lisa on any of the things she was discussing? Ari.
I'll just say, Caleb, for a little historical context, Caleb's mother was one of the very early Zing Train clients when she worked as like the quality manager or something at St. Joe's. And Maggie and I taught customer service over there.
It all connects. Awesome. Well, that's good knowledge. Thanks, Ari, for that. All right, let's move it forward to Bob's half of this line, the Packet House version of labor cost. How are we doing, Bob?
Doing well. Oh, morning, all. So we did okay. I mean, we came in at 19.3. I think the percentage is 12.8. So not too bad. Sales were good. We have a lot of overtime in the kitchen right now. Lots of line cooks working 5 days, around 50 hours, sometimes a little bit more. Dishwashers are heavy on labor too. So I mean, we're hiring. We had a new dishwasher, Alex, start this week, and we'll probably have another dishwasher as soon as I can confirm it later this week. So hopefully that will help the dishwasher labor. We also have a couple of line cook trial shifts this week. We have Shane on Wednesday night and Adam on Thursday night. So we're excited to get them in house and meet them and get them to meet everyone and see how they do. Outside of that, we're still hiring. We got line cook and dishwasher still up. Line cook seems to be the toughest nut to crack right now, with not a whole lot of applications coming in. People that are coming in have good energy, but not a ton of experience. So we're gonna figure it out and make it work. But that's kind of where we're at.
Sweet. Hey, Chef. Any questions for back of house labor cost? All right. Again, if I go too fast, feel free to type your message in the chat window for questions, and I'm sure Bob can either type back or we'll figure out something. Let's bounce it over to then if the food cost half of your traditional sharing time, Bob.
All right, part 2. Food costs. We're doing inventory not this weekend, but next. So we'll see how that plays out. Just kind of a recap on some of the notes I've been sending out. So tomorrow, I believe unless someone wants to extend it, we bring up the pricing on ribs. I haven't heard any feedback from anyone. but I believe we've been kind of pre-shifting it. So everyone should know. If anyone feels like we need some more time to spread the word, I'm happy to push it a couple more days. But it's something that's as far as food costs and charging the right amount, it's an important step in that process. So that should start tomorrow, and that's bringing up the half rack to 26, the full rack to, I don't have my computer in front of me, but I believe it's 44 is what we had
Yep.
down on the
I
sheet.
have it up right now. 2644. Yep.
Perfect. So that's happening. I mean, it's just kind of the state of meat and kind of where it's going. Um, that might not be like the ending point, but kind of just a point on the journey with the pricing of the ribs. It is a really good product. I feel like it's worth every cent. And I think most people who enjoy it also think that. So I feel good about the pricing on it. The other big thing that just literally like yesterday came across the pipeline is Snow's Sugar Bush maple syrup that we've been carrying, I think, since we opened. We've had it a long time. It's been our only syrup. They basically shut their doors. We thought we had a little bit more supply coming at us, but we didn't. So I sent out some info yesterday on kind of where we're going next. It doesn't really save us. We're not saving anything on food costs on that. It's pretty much a straight same price across the board because maple syrup is, when made the right way and traditionally, it is an expensive product, no matter who you get it from. But so we're gonna bring in. We have some stuff from the deli, which is Grazing Fields maple syrup, and then we also have Doodles Sugar Bush maple syrup that's coming in on Wednesday, which will probably be on through the weekend. And then I also got some samples coming in, so it might not be where we end the destination on syrup, but it's something to get us by. And it's Michigan made, family owned, traditionally made, all the good things that we're looking for. We just haven't tasted it yet, so that's all I got.
All right, I'll have Ari has a question or comment.
Thanks, Bob. I meant to email this morning and I forgot, and I'm in the car right now. But if it's of interest, I can forward you the info. There's a couple of sisters. Their brand is Harwood Gold, I think, of maple syrup. One of them lives in like Jackson or like around us somewhere, maybe Dexter, and they're longtime Zing fans, and they've always wanted to get in, but I always told them we were loyal to Snow. So I could forward you the info, and you can test it out. I mean, we don't have to use it, but it's another source, and they've been trying to get in for like 10 years. So.
No, absolutely. I'll take it all.
Heard. All right, we are getting up on time. I saw Logan. You have a quick burning question or comment?
Yeah, is one of those sisters named Rachel? Because if not, I might have another lead on some Michigan local sourced syrup. A girl that's come in a few times when I was bartending has talked to me. I didn't even know that
I
you
don't
not getting syrup.
remember their name.
But okay, but I can follow through on that too to see if that's worth anything.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Logan. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Ari. Let's bounce it over to Jess Forbes with the code Reds and the code Greens. Hello, Jess. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. So let's talk some code Reds. We had 50 this week on a forecast of 45. And although I'm not thrilled at that number, I am very happy that people are entering their codes. So thank you. And please keep up the good code work. So on the 11th, we had some long wait times for in-house food. Specifically, wanted to note 16 minutes for a sweet potato fry app. On the 11th, we also had some cold sides go out. Rice and mac were noted. On the 14th, the guest said that the ribs had a weird aftertaste, and after a little bit of email chain, they said they taste like they had been over-smoked. But that was the only code we got on those, so I'm hoping it was just an anomaly, and I'm terribly sorry that the guest experienced that. On the 15th, the kitchen had lost a dessert ticket and took 30 minutes to get the dessert out. Also on the 15th, not enough meat on a Reuben. And although these aren't like trends per se, I would say just, the gentle pushback from either the wheel or expo. If something doesn't look right or if something's taking long, please let us know so we can fix it sooner than later. I see some hands popping, so.
Yeah, we got Monica on that first.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Ooh, hey, stop. I was just gonna say that sweet potato fry from the 11th. That was last Tuesday, so that was the park soft opening day, and so we had a lot of stop it. We had a lot of confusion with like the to-go tickets to Reading Dine In and a huge push and stuff. So that was just the kind of the chaos of that shift. But certainly try not to let that happen again.
Heard that. Ari has a question or comment.
Just minor reminder for the dessert ticket, that the servers really need to watch their tables too. I mean, it doesn't happen that often, but if you don't see the food out, it's kind of good to go look for it. Anyway, minor thing.
If I remember correctly, in that situation, the server did watch the table. They came a couple times to check in on it, and it was an issue on our end.
Got it. Thank you.
Sweet. All right, gents, venture forward.
And so then we had some of the Roadhouse Park surveys, and these weren't like code reds per se, but I thought they were worth mentioning, maybe like best next times. So they were saying like a spot for a Z-Cop discount when you check out, or some kind of discount, and more busing and trash locations out in the park.
If it helps, we are planning on meeting as a group to discuss all of these. If that helps.
I had kind of figured, but I thought it'd be worth mentioning to the whole.
Heard.
Without further questions or clarifications, I can move on to Code Green.
Yes, thank you for sharing. I think Code Green sounds good.
Yeah, so we had 142 on a forecast and plan of 135. So thank you, everybody. In spite of the one guest that did not enjoy their ribs were very popular this week, along with poutine, fried chicken, farro, and soft shell crabs were getting a lot of love. And special shout outs to Graham, Stephen, Nathan, Joey, and Nancy. And as always, appreciation to all of you for all the hard work that you do.
Sweet. 142 is an awesome number. I'm happy to see that. All right. Thank you, Jess, so much. Ari has a question or a comment.
No, just quick. I wrote it up so you'll hear it next week, but I just was reflecting on Bob's comments, which I agree with about the rib pricing. And there was a nice young guy that grew up in Ann Arbor, lives in D.C., was back, and he was in for dinner the other night, and they enjoyed their dinner a lot. Anyway, he said, just I can't get over the prices here. Like, it's so low for what this would cost in Washington for this quality level. So I know none of us have traveled, but it is true that in context, our pricing is still quite modest for the quality we're offering.
Yep. I think it was when we were talking about rib pricing. I know for a fact somebody mentioned they were at a barbecue place for a whole slab. It was like $50. Like, it's like the standard. So like our doing only 44 is actually still pretty reasonable when you compare. So just for us, it seems outrageous, but it's not. Awesome. So let's bounce it over to Joey with ZXI. I don't really have a forecaster or something for Joey. So is Joey around?
Joey's around, and there's been basically no.
That's right. We don't have any surveys. Oh yeah.
Don't have any surveys, but they are literally supposed to get here either like today or tomorrow.
So there you go.
But however, I just realized when Jessica had mentioned that there were some Roadhouse Park feedback, I was like, how? So I went into the survey. So I didn't realize they had already put the QR code out to the park.
Yes.
So we did. And I did not realize that till Jessica just mentioned that. So as you called upon me, I realized this. So we did, in fact, have, and Ron Zernicki always writes them because he's fantastic. I send them to him individually through the email because he likes to fill them out. But basically, we do actually have a score. It's sitting at like a 92 from 11 surveys, all from the park. Lots of fun feedback. A couple of things Jessica had put out there. People were just, happy that we had the park stuff. A couple of people were like, not as cleanly as in-house, but is to be expected. Now that I'm expecting my survey cards to finally get here, I will put my forecasts up for the upcoming weeks and next month. And lastly, I added an incentive system to the survey cards. So when you click into the survey, it'll let you know that you have a chance to win either a $25 or $100 gift card. We give out 4 $25 gift cards a year and 1 $100 gift card a year. You just have to put your contact information in and you're eligible to win a prize. So hopefully that will help incentivize people to take our surveys more often, even people that, may have already, to continue giving us feedback. And yeah, we will be back in the survey game in these upcoming weeks.
Sweet. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you.
All right, excited for that. Hi, Elaine. I see you through Lisa's screen. All right, sweet. I know why she's setting herself up for her line coming up soon. All right, let's jump it over to Elaine. Do you need us to go to you now, or are we good to go to the gym show? We're gonna go to the gym show because it's his time. It's his time allotted in the television program. Hello, Jim. How you doing this morning?
Zach, I think you missed it in the notes or in the chat. Jim just said, sorry, I need to run.
Oh, I did.
And then left a little note about what's going on. I don't know if you want to read that.
Oh, there it is. All right, he needed to run. Not much news in the NLP front with the heat that the higher sales forecast is now minus 24K from last week's minus 28. So we are making continuous improvement. Cash remains fine. Still 21-day waiting period before the restaurant group application can be considered. The magic date is the 24th for us for the restaurant group grant application. So let's cross our fingers and hope that we can get some of the money for that to go benefit our entire restaurant as a whole. And yeah, that's Jim left, and that's all we got. And I would say any questions, but I don't think I could answer them. So if you find Jim, he'd be a fine person to answer your questions. And he's usually around it all the weekdays. Sharon, comment, question.
The only thing I did hear is that we're waiting to hear more information from Toast. We're having some issues with how refunds are processing, and Neil and Jim are working on that and tying out. So for the front of the house managers, I've been asked by Jim to hold off on the nice little document that I created until Jim knows that is for sure how we want to process refunds going forward. Never a good idea when the accountants can't make sense of the money, why it doesn't tie out. So until then, Jim's asked me to hold off for the time being.
Sorry, I needed to talk to my wife about something and I zoned out. Cool. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, we'll stay tuned to that. All right. Let's move on. We are kind of always tight on time. Just always keep that in mind. 3 minutes, please, for each line. No more, no less. We have beverage next up. I believe Felipe has Kim's proxy for the beverage line.
I do have Kim's proxy for the beverage line. This week, total sales, alcohol, beer, wine, and liquor, just $2 shy of 14,500. Wine, we had Sangria, Castle Rock moving through pretty well. In liquor, we were selling lots of Persephones and margaritas. The Bethany Blue Bye-Bye and Bloody Marys also in the lead. In the beer, the new rotating tap, the Bean Flicker Coffee Blonde, is selling really well. Kim has a question about whether or not we're going to be using pub for frying now for like fish and chips and stuff like that. And if so, should we mention it on the menu as it's a local product from just down the street? Perhaps that would be a good idea. Kim also has a question if I have notes, wine notes for the week. I can mention that I met with Jacqueline Marshall from Vintage Wines. Fun fact, she lives 2 doors down from me. We found that out when we met. I met with her on Saturday, and I'm going to recommend to Kim that we carry one of their wines. It's the Para Maria Stoltman Sangiovese. It's got a great effervescence to it, which I think would play really well in the park. It's wonderfully light, easygoing drinking wine. Other than that, so more to come on that in the future. We'll see how that plays out. Other than that, looking good for the week, and looking forward to selling more of these drinks on into Roadhouse Park.
All right. Thank you, Felipe. Great proxy reporting. It's exciting to see our drink sales numbers should hopefully go up with the introduction of the park, one would think. So good stuff for that. Any questions for Felipe? Do you know when that wine's going to be in, by the way? The one that you're going to order?
I'm going to recommend to Kim. I've got to look at. She and I have to look at pricing a little bit to see exactly how we would be doing it. I'm hoping that it's something that we can do by the glass, but more to come.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, let's bounce it over to Elaine. She's been waiting so patiently in Lisa's screen. Hello, Elaine. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Sorry, I just actually have an event going on right now, so that's why I was spotting in and out at the beginning. But so speaking of the events and catering, we have an event going on right now. One of the financial groups up in the common room, so that's exciting. It's nice and easy and brings in a decent chunk of change for us. Last week we were able to get over to Corman Farms and walk around with Tabitha and talk about the event season coming up. So that's super exciting. Getting my occasional staff all ramped up. Talked to Lisa and Bob yesterday about scheduling and getting organized for the season, like pre-COVID times, some new standards. So we're rolling right into the season. It's super exciting. But other than that, I really have nothing to report on.
Awesome. Thank you, Elaine. Any questions for Elaine? All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Elaine. Let's bounce it over to Jillian's top 10, bottom 10. Jillian, are you there?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay. Sorry. I was in emails. I got zoned out for a second.
That happens.
Yeah. So I know was kind of doing this late last night and had a bunch of random observations at the bottom. Yeah, something. I just realized I was not reporting the ribs correctly, and we're actually selling even more than I thought. So we're doing with the Rage and the South Carolina together. It was number 3 at dinner, and then the Roadhouse plate isn't part of that, so I didn't include it, but that's also up there, like probably in the top 10, I would say. I just have about top 5 right now. But yeah, we're still selling a lot of them. I know we got, I think Thursday's the price increase. Smelt and chips still doing really well. The soft shell crab, I was really surprised, actually outsold the smelt and chips. So I know it's a probably higher price point, but that was pretty cool to see too. And then our cheesecake, that was huge this week. I tried it myself, and it's fantastic. But yeah, that was our number 1 selling desserts for everything we sell. And then I noticed cocktails are a little bit this week. But, we have people like Chill House Park. They're drinking in the park instead of taking stuff to go. So that might be kind of that trade-off. But yeah, Margarita is still number 1 as usual. But yeah, something I kind of threw in at the very bottom is, I don't know I know we're marketing group I've been working in, but kind of ways to maybe work oatmeal, possibly pancakes. Pancakes are usually a little bit better food costs, but they also take up room on the grill with stuff, so that real estate situation. But I don't know, maybe some ways we can try to push those, see them up to maybe get some more sales there. Those are just consistently very low for us. But, just
Jillian, your voice is breaking up pretty good on your end. Just letting you know.
Okay.
It's like every 3 words. It's like.
All right, I'm sorry. I can log back in, but yeah.
We can hear you sometimes. Like 80% of what you're saying is good.
Okay. But,
did you have a lot more? I guess we heard majority of it.
That was it.
Oh, okay. If you're almost done, then it's probably just fine.
That was it.
Cool. All right, any questions for Jillian? I pulled up her document on the sharing screen. Lots of good stuff. One thing I noticed: fried chicken beat burgers this week. This last week, that doesn't happen very often. So there you go. It's like two prized horses jockeying for first place, basically.
Mhm.
All right. Any questions? Sweet. All right. Thanks for the document. It's very easy to read. Thank you for making it as accessible as you do. Let's pick it back over to the DOR board for maintenance with Andrew Nash. Hello, Andrew. Are
Hello,
you here?
everybody.
Hi, Andrew.
I'm on my phone. I don't know if I'm coming through. So.
Oh, perfectly fine.
Awesome. Well, this week concluded the big projects outside for me. I haven't been in the building much, so it's been sort of neglected in there. I appreciate everybody for being patient, and as things are sort of finishing up outside, I'm ready to come back in and get on top of things again. And that's really the news: the back fence and the Roadhouse Park.
Mm.
And we're having the steamer replaced today. They are actually here right now. So
awesome! I'm sure Bob's happy to hear that. And the park does look really, really good. Yeah, seriously, Andrew, your work has really made that park look the best it's been. I mean, we only had it for last year. It's only been a year or so, but like it's definitely looking the best it's ever been. Lots of good comments.
I'm pretty proud of it. So thank you.
It really, like when you're at that light at that Jackson Stadium light, like you can't help but look over and go, "Whoa, look at that place! They got stuff going on over there." So it's just like it does pop.
Awesome, thank you. I'm so glad.
Yeah. All right. And big ups from Rich is saying the same things, and so is Jess. So big ups there too. All right. Thank you for the update. Let's see what else we can do for you. And let's bounce it over to training with Felipe.
Hello again. So for training this week, we have a couple of things going on right now. Lisa is going to be trying out a draft SOP that I wrote for onboarding for staff. I believe the packets that I made, I have 5 bussers, one of which is a double barback, 5 hosts, 2 bussers, one just a double barback, and a server. They should all be ready to go. I look forward to hearing from Lisa's best next times on how useful the SOP was, because I'm hoping to nail it down so we can standardize our onboarding in front of house and back of house. I will be preparing materials for Bob for his hiring needs over the course of this week. Last thing, two more things real quick. Number one, we're going to be I'm going to be focusing on getting AGGS offered as many times as possible during the month of June. I've sent out emails to ZingTrain to ask for their help. So we're going to see if we can get that going and get as many people through as possible. And last but not least, I do want to kind of have everybody focus on our oldest post toasties. We've got 4 that only have a class or 2 left. So let's really take a look at that and see what we can do to help them along. If you have, we can talk about that offline. Monica, what's on your mind?
You're muted, Monica.
I hit the wrong button. I was curious. So I was looking at the class that I was going over it with somebody, and I realized that Sell Food Have Fun is a required class for everybody. But that it also counts as a food class. And so I was wondering, is that you take Sell Food Have Fun, you check off both, or if you go for Sell Food Have Fun, I guess just what's going on with that.
I can already feel Sharon's tingling.
Sharon just raised her hand, and I think I know what her answer is, but please, Sharon. Please speak to that.
So, Sell Food Have Fun is not a requirement for the back of the house. It is a requirement to have one food-related class. They can use that Sell Food Have Fun as their food-related class, but it's not a both. They don't have to do both in the back of the house. In the front of house, Sell Food Have Fun is required for many of the different job codes. I will be posting a class probably later today for a couple weeks in the future. I have a girl who hit me up from the deli who needs it. So I'm getting one scheduled right now.
So, Felipe, are you able to, because I don't know what front of house positions require it, in the document that we have the post toasties document, I'm pretty sure it just says all, and it kind of makes it look like it's required for everybody. Are you able to help me update that with who needs to take it?
Yeah, of course I can. And I'll actually take care of that later today. Sharon?
I was just gonna say it says all because they could take it that way, but they don't have to. So I don't know how we want to denote that differently, but that's why it was left open for everyone and not blocked out, because they could use it as that class as a double dinger.
So I will kind of try to line it up. To be clear, something that Sharon didn't point out is that Sell Food Have Fun isn't the best class for back of house staff to take as far as food classes are concerned. We do have other classes that we teach at the Roadhouse, like the extra mile sampling class that speaks much more directly to the food that we serve. So that would be a much better class. On that point, coming from the managers, and I waited till this week to announce it because I wanted to go through the manager meeting last week, that the managers have approved a moratorium, shall we say, on the requirement, the passport requirement for a food class for the next 60 days. Reason being, food classes are very difficult to teach under COVID protocols, and we don't want to really stymie people's progress through that. Having said that, these people who are getting in this break still have to have some kind of food interaction during shift, during their training time here at the Roadhouse, during the time that they're being on passports. So this is going to last until through mid-July, at which point I hope that we're in a much better position to offer our food classes and get people that kind of food training that we really want them to have to inform their guest interactions. Aria, I see you have a comment or question.
I do. Bob, I was just thinking your welcome to the back of the house work is really more important to me than the food class. And you are doing that with new people. So I'm just wondering if we might not ease our load and be more effective by switching that.
I think Bob may have stepped out of the meeting.
Okay. Well, I'll make a note to talk to him about it. But
I'll also follow up with him on that.
But I think that. Okay, that it's really more important, and he does cover some food in there, and I think it didn't used to exist, so it's not in the scope of the typical passports.
Heard.
The Verita.
I am thinking also though out loud, Lisa, we should add it to the front of the house manager passports.
Hi, everybody. I saw a question about post toasties list. Can everybody see it? You may have a companion list that you share more broadly in the Roadhouse, but it is generated in human resources. Managers should have access to it. So if managers don't, let me know, but it's based on a hire date and when we receive information about whether people have completed their passport. So again, you might have a companion document that you guys are sharing more broadly, but that's how we keep track of it.
Yeah, thanks, Verita. Just really quickly to finish up that idea, and I'll turn over my time. We do have a companion document.
Okay.
I'm the one that maintains it, and so I have to, because I don't have access to the HRIS for those functions, I have to reach out to managers every once in a while to ask for names and hire dates. That's how I maintain that populated. And it's shared with, to answer Taylor's question, it's shared with the managers, supervisors, and anyone who is a road guide. And if Carolyn would like to become a road guide, I would love to have her hands in the training world. I'll cede my time.
Thank you, Felipe. Vroom, vroom, Carolyn says. All right, thank you, everyone. That was great, lively discussion. Fortunately, I didn't really hear any discussion topics, so we actually do have bleed over time, which is good. So we're actually not late. So Logan, wrapping up this UR board, will you? Hold up. Before you do, Monica has a question or comment.
I had a discussion topic question, so just if
you did. Cool. All right. Well, all right, Logan, you got a couple minutes. You think you can handle it in a couple minutes?
Yeah.
You can have more people.
2.5 PLCs. Half being Roadhouse Park, which is already rolled out with some additional things rolling out, but that's more covered at this point by the work group than by a 30-second line. Yes, Sharon?
Go ahead and talk, and I have a question after. Go ahead.
Okay, and then we still are working out and implementing the Toast handheld BLC. That's, we're sort of focusing each week on something new, and we're just really pushing to get those orders rang in and sent to the kitchen while we're at the guest table. That's incredibly helpful. I've had appetizers come out while I was still taking the rest of their order, so that's something that would not even be possible if I had to walk to a terminal. I think that's going great. I'm not sure how necessarily it's being received by the other servers. I know it was pretty split 50-50 on that. And then we also have the bar seat position number BLC that Joey worked very hard on and sent out multiple good drafts. So, yes, now Sharon.
So I guess my question might go more towards the managers at this point. The BLC and SOP document binders, we're continuously updating the dates on them every day as part of our running side work. But there are a lot of items that have not made it into the binders. And so at this point, I've kind of taken a back seat. I'm pushing for signatures, as well as I'm pretty sure Logan has as well. Because what's the point of constantly badgering people about getting signatures when we're not putting new documents in the binders and we're only relying on pre-shift for those things? And then it's really hard for me to remind people, hey, every day when you come in, that 5 minutes is checking pre-shift and the binder and then getting a signature. But if we're not putting things in the binder, it just seems now like it's kind of a waste of time and energy. So
I agree. I'm
kind of at that point where I don't know what to do.
I think until we can button it down, because we have a lot of moving parts between New Toast and Roadshow Park, and everything going on. There's so much movement. I think it is a worthwhile thing at some point, but I agree it's probably okay if we just let that slide, because I agree it does feel really silly when you're pushing someone for new signatures and you get to the binder and there hasn't been a printout in a week and a half and they're like, wait, why did you just waste 3 minutes of my time? So it's just sort of it's just not great optics, and it's not helpful for anyone, because we're all collectively adding stress to everyone's lives for literally no benefit. So I think we should revisit that binder, and I think it has merit, but I think now is the time for a little vacation from that.
Has there been which BLCs that are recent that have at least which recent BLCs haven't been added to the binder, I guess is the question.
I can check tonight when I get to work.
I can tell you right now, the last BLC that went in the to-go area binder was, I believe, Zach's Toast Patch Notes, which was on 4/25. But yet we've had a lot of communication for the Roadhouse Park, and I know none of that has necessarily been in a formidable BLC, but there's been a lot of communication that's come out of that. Maybe even it could have been something as much as notes from the meeting, or Jocelyn's monkeys or something like that. But we're doing work, and we're
Sharon, you muted yourself.
sorry. I mean, we're doing a lot of work with the Roadhouse Park. Things are constantly moving, but we're not documenting in there.
Okay, well, it is a BLC binder. If you want me to put meeting notes in there, then that's fine. I'm happy to do that, but wasn't the original intent of the binder. I mean, I think
I understand, but do we want to then make BLCs for what we've some of the recent work that we've done for the park? What's the best way to communicate that? Because I know there was some frustration from some roadshow people right before we had the meeting because they weren't even sure, what was going on.
Okay. Well, the Roadhouse Park BLC was in there. We've worked, the work group has happened 10 times, and the BLC is in that binder. So yes, I can add a final version to it, which hasn't happened. So I'll totally take the fault on that one. But we do have a process. Yes, we should continue to use it. We can figure out how we want to communicate, because there are obviously a lot of changes that we're working on for the park, and all the systems around that. If we want to do separate BLCs, I'm happy to. It is in a weird trialing phase right now where we're trying to figure out what's working well and what's not working well. So I also would like to, I agree. We do need to figure out a way to communicate effectively. And I know it is a little bit all over the place right now, but I'm happy to brainstorm and figure out how we want to do that, how we want to utilize the binder for that. So I would not like to take a vacation from it. We have a system in place. We bring people in early. We do need to figure that out.
Okay. would it be worth meeting offline to talk about some way to easily
Yeah, I
distill
think
certain things like that, or BLC or BLC SOP adjacent? Just distilling those into something that is in the binder that we update and keep out in front of, so we can still communicate effectively, even if the information wasn't necessarily originally presented as a BLC.
Yes.
we'll take it offline. We've been discussing this for a good amount of time. Monica, we kind of took your discussion time. Was there something urgent you wanted to discuss? You said you had a topic, and we kind of just ran it over.
Yeah, I mean, we may not have time to get to it. I was wondering, and it's possible that I've missed the information, but on the kitchen end, the way that we're handling tickets right now with the new Roadhouse Park menu is that we're running kind of two different quote times. So we have our to go, what we're quoting for the like online and the call in orders, so mostly those. And then we have our in-house tickets, we have our guest waiting tickets, and we have the Roadhouse Park limited menu. And those three are all kind of running as one quote time based on what we're selling in-house. I've had a lot of people come up to me when I've been running the line and say, like, I have a guest waiting, where is it? And it's been like, 10, 15 minutes or something. Like, yeah, that's how we're handling that. Like, so I wasn't sure if like maybe that didn't get communicated. And then the other question that I had was, I've been seeing a lot of Roadhouse Park. Like, there was, before we rolled out this BLC, we had like instead of guest waiting, it would say Roadhouse Park, like in that little space in the middle of the ticket. And I was under the impression that for Roadhouse Park, we were either doing the limited menu or we were quoting them our to-go time. But I haven't seen any to-go times quoted on those tickets that are denoted Roadhouse Park.
Oh, treat that as guest waiting. That's literally, it's just a tag. It's just a guest waiting tag for ordering.
Okay, that would be good to know.
Yeah, sorry. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna remove that tag because the whole point of that tag was I wanted their order and pay tickets to ring back with that. But since those can't be course, that doesn't actually print on the Roadhouse Park tickets. So I'm probably just gonna take a monkey just to delete that course and just have them all use guest waiting. I just kept forgetting to do that.
Okay. Lisa, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say for Roadhouse Park, so before we had the order and pay, which I know is like yet another like way, obviously, for people to order. So thank you everybody for staying patient, working through this. I was under the impression that Roadhouse Park tickets were supposed to be put in line with dine-in times. But that's how we organized it last year.
Roadhouse Park limited menu, yes. Is that what you're saying?
No. The limited, if anything, Roadhouse Park. I mean, the limited menu is our menu. So, I mean, it comes through,
yeah,
that order and pay. So if people are ordering off the limited menu from order and pay, well, that's order and pay. If someone walks up and orders Roadhouse Park, they can order from which menu. So that those are supposed to be.
My question is, if they're ordering off the regular menu, shouldn't we be quoting them a quote time?
It would carry out quote time.
Exactly, and we're not doing that. That's what I'm saying.
If they're walk-up guests, they're always guest waiting.
Okay, that's how you guys have been organizing it in the roadshow. Is guest waiting for Roadhouse Park?
If they are in person, they are always a guest waiting. That's kind of that's how they do it. Like if they are physically in person and at the walk-up window, it is a guest. That's the traditional. And I think we should probably move from that, but we have to coach that because that's pretty much like.
That's what I was gonna say because
that's their standard.
We're getting this kind of. We're getting a lot of tickets.
Yeah, I think that's actually a gap that we had. I just realized, yep.
Sorry, my dog is jumping on me, and he's.
So you're saying that they shouldn't be guest waiting if it's Roadhouse Park? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I guess we have to.
I think theoretically they could be guest waiting, but the problem that we're seeing is that we're like the point of the Roadhouse Park limited menu was to get like a quick menu for the Roadhouse Park, but that menu, those tickets are actually getting kind of boggled down by the fact that like every other Roadhouse Park not limited menu ticket is coming back guest waiting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that was a miscommunication because we talked about them being quoted at the walk-up window, but our culture has always been if you're in person, you're a guest waiting tag. So we just literally just whiffed that, Lauren. And then this is discussion. Let's have Lauren wrap the discussion up. We gotta close this huddle up.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough one. Because also often we don't know until after we've taken their order if they're actually in the park or if they're not in the park. Like, people come up and they just order. It's definitely a big challenge to organize the guests with, whether or not they're guest waiting or not guest waiting. If we want to get away from the whole concept of guest waiting, and, I think that may be a solution. But it is, there's definitely kind of, a struggle around that, especially when you talk about someone coming up and ordering like a side of French fries and having to wait, 30 minutes for a side of French fries. We're going to lose those sales, in those situations if we're putting those into regular quote times. So I think that there's more conversation that could be had around whether or not we want to keep a guest waiting or not guest waiting.
I'm not suggesting that we get rid of it. That's not the suggestion that I'm making. I think we need, the way that the kitchen system has been put in place is that the Roadhouse Park non-limited menu tickets are supposed to be quoted regular to-go times, and it sounds like, for whatever
there's a culture gap there.
For whatever reason, that's just not what's happening, and so it's causing a pretty decent amount of additional stress on the line. So that's like, when you think like a 16-minute quote time on or 16 minutes on an appetizer sweet potato fry, like that's where this stuff is coming in, and I would really like to kind of nail these systems down and get us all on the same page before we get even busier, because we know that's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll have a separate group to discuss all these things. Cool. All right.
In the meantime, what are we doing?
We have to discuss it in the separate groups. So right now we have to leave it as is because we can't make changes right now. I'd say since there's a culture gap, we need to let it exist until we can properly discuss it, or else we're just going to potentially make it worse by rushing to a decision. Felipe? Yeah, we're at 11:01. So.
Yeah, I would say perhaps, Monica, we can start an email chain to keep the conversation going until we can get into a place where we can make decisions, because right now at this huddle, we're kind of out of time. But I feel very strongly about what you're talking about.
Okay, I'll send out an email today.
All right, thank you. All right, announcements and appreciation. If you want to review monkeys, we can go to the notes. Lisa.
Bob and I are teaching Welcome to the Roadhouse tomorrow from 4 to 6. It is virtual. I will send a reminder out either today or tomorrow morning to let everybody know. And just a reminder that we have 2 new front of the house managers. Congratulate them, Kim Green and Caleb, who's starting tomorrow training.
All right. Any other announcements?
Wait. Sorry, Caleb. Caleb got something. Sorry.
I'm adding a safety for next week as we speak on Tuesday, which I believe is the 25th.
Cool.
I'm planning on making it mid-afternoon so that kids in school will be out of school in time to attend.
Woo. All right. Let's go to appreciations.
Do you want me to just go?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, Lisa. Lisa, go right ahead. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I would like to appreciate Felipe like 1,000 times over. He has spent hours and hours and literally hours of his time this last week helping with revamping the SOP for onboarding, putting together packets. I mean, helping in every regard with training and bringing on all these people. And I so appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all the people having folks to shadow them. Because like I said, we have lots of new hires and a pre-appreciation for all the trainers because there's going to be a lot of training happening soon. I appreciate Roadhouse Park Work Group. Clearly, good discussion today. There's still a lot to work out and figure out, but we will get there. So thank you for everyone's patience and input and flexibility. But a big thanks to that work group for all of their work around all aspects of the park. And there are a lot. Appreciation to Andrew, as always, for all the stuff in Roadhouse Park. He put up the new fence in the back, all the stuff in the kitchen. He's totally kicking butt. Thank you, thank you. And then for all the flexibility between like Sunday fun day, Elaine and Zach and Jillian and anybody who worked that day. Thank you. Because you know sometimes things happen and we got to switch it up. So thank you all for your flexibility.
Mm-hmm. I think Beth had an appreciation she was trying to say. Beth, what's up? Beth.
Yes, I wanted to thank Andrew. He is always so helpful when I ask for anything.
Heard that. Park of the back fence looking great. Yep, excellent. Ari.
Well,
You heard me?
We did. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Thanks, Beth. Sorry.
I want to appreciate all of you. I missed announcements because I'm at the airport, which is the first time in 15 months. And we're not done with all this stuff, but I guess it is kind of a hallmark. And you all have just been so amazingly professional, collaborative, and focused through what I think is pretty safe to say the hardest or most challenging year of my long years of doing this. So I just appreciate all of you. Thanks to everybody for the work on Roadhouse Park. It's awesome. Zach, thank you for all you do. Felipe, thank you. Beth, I really appreciate you being more and more involved, coming to the huddles. Now you're going to be on 2 committees, which is awesome. The ZCOB is better for having you. Thanks also to our new host, Brooklyn, for joining our team and doing a nice job. And I'm sure there's more. Oh, our new managers, Caleb, Jenny, and Kim Green. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Ari. I got Andrew appreciation.
I just want to reiterate that I appreciate everybody's patience with me working outside and not being in the building much, and all the great feedback. It's all been positive, so that's nice. But if there's any negative, I'm always willing to take that. I just appreciate everybody being so communicative and understanding and just being such a great place to be. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. Well, I appreciate y'all bearing with me. It's some really good discussion, and it's good that we gave it the time it needed, and we're going to then bounce it to where it needs to go to continue having the hearty discussion to make sure things are done. Apologies for looking a bit frustrated. Just wanted to complete it on time, but discussion is more important than time, so I apologize for coming off a little frustrated. I was not 100% frustrated, just a little bit. So thank you all for bearing with me and bearing with the time allotment. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you when I see you, and we'll see you next week to discuss more huddle things for next week's numbers. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.